He knows that I'm going to be going anywhere, and yeah, that's kind of nice to notice. I always wondered if observers would be seen by a sensor tower, but I guess not. So that's kind of good news for me to find out for later. And here he comes with his ghost. He has personal cloaking even. So what's really important to notice in PvT late game is that once you get those ghosts, my High Templar, if your ghosts aren't cloaked, then my High Templar are going to be able to feedback you before you're going to even be able to get a chance. Luckily for me, that's why I keep this observer out here, so I was able to snipe that ghost before he was even able to do that. But here he goes. He is scanning right now, trying to see what I have, trying to gain my position. I'm splitting up my High Templar because I do not want to get EMP'd everywhere. And so here he comes right now. I think we are going to be engaging. He gets one EMP off, but not on my ghost, so I'm actually doing okay. He is trying to fight and maybe snipe down a couple of units. I have a couple of committed psionic storms there, but he was running away pretty much permanently. So he sees that I have an observer right here, and I usually like to make 2 observers, and I think he may have killed one of them, or maybe I just never produced my second one, but I like to actually have a dedicated hotkey for 2 observers. 5 and 6 is usually where I put it. And so he sees, I see these observers right now. He scans for my observer, especially for that reason. Now I'm like, oh crap, what do? I don't have any detection. I try to guess where he is with some psi storms, look at those blurs, but I actually am able to kill one, but he's able to kill the rest of my High Templar, and now he has his force ready to go in, sniping out the rest of my High Templar, and I think I'm going to be losing this mining expansion as well. So at this point I'm like, well, I really just need to retreat. I can't fight this army without psi storm, and I only have about 1 storm left right now, so I finally have my natural being built once again for the 3rd time, and I'm able to warp in a couple of High Templar just the right time, so I am now going in for this attack, and now there goes some psi storms, and he is going to be losing his entire force right here against those psi storms. He definitely was not expecting that. My second observer coming out in the nick of time to snipe those ghosts as well. So right now I am on 0 bases. I'm just long distance mining, and at the same time, look at this guy, absolutely great control, was able to go in and snipe my Templar archives right there and my Twilight Council, so I am so far behind on getting any High Templar for a while because I need to rebuild both that Twilight Council and that Templar archives. I only have 1 High Templar on the map, not even enough for a feedback on this dropship. So this guy in an excellent position right now. He pretty much goes by the rule of thumb, do not attack unless you're going to attack in 2 places at once, which is just so frustrating for me because I'm like, I don't even know where to defend because you can just hit anywhere that you want. Here he comes with his dropship. He's even going to be going for this natural expansion here, and hopefully he doesn't get it out for a 4th time, but I think I just have... yeah, he's really not going to be able to snipe this out before my army comes. And I try to get it down, but then again, my High Templar are just so slow, only barely enough for that feedback, so not able to get it off in time. And I am struggling to just get my tech back on board. So he did a great job selecting which buildings to attack, because without the Templar archives, my army is really nothing compared to him. I need that psi storm if I'm ever going to be able to win in a head-to-head combat. So I'm trying to stay up on the macro as well. I'm anticipating for another expansion if I'm ever able to get the map control. So I have, looks like I have 7 gateways right now, so I have good production, and I'm mining off of 1 base, but this guy has tons of expansions everywhere. He doesn't have any saturation on here, though, but he definitely does have the map control, and he is ready for it. So he is now starting to finally harvester transplant over to this next expansion here. So he is going to have 2 mining bases against my 1 mining base, and my base, which has just been harassed constantly throughout the game. So he even, well, did I see nukes? He even is producing nukes right now. So yeah, he's got nukes already. So here he comes. He's moving out, trying to deny me any more map control. He's probably preparing for another dual prog attack. His main force here, while this is just sniping out pylons. And I'm like, you know, I really can't afford to move any units back, because if he moves out, I'm going to be in trouble. And again, I have that observer just waiting there, looking at any ghosts that are approaching, and I am able to snipe them down. So he doesn't really have that many ghosts right now. He does have 2, and I think he tries to go in again for the cloak because he sees that my High Templar are a little bit too close to my army. And he is actually able to get that off, so a very well placed EMP, a little bit of slip by me, leaving my High Templar out there too close. It just goes to show you that you know, PvT really is a High Templar ghost battle. And so finally I have my Templar archives back. I have 1 more just morphed in with enough energy for a good Side Storm right there, taking out tons of Marines, and he is able to micro back pretty well and snipe off a couple of my Zealots. And at this point, I'm like, well, my High Templar aren't going to be much more use right now, except for warping in an Archon. So finally able to get a couple of High Temps out on the map. I have a pretty good force right here, but he just has so much macro up on me right now. He's doing a good job with those ghosts. He was able to snipe out a couple of pylons. I think I was even supply capped for a little bit, and yeah, I lost pylons here for sure. And so here he comes again with the harass. This guy just not letting up, and he's even scanning out here to try to see where I am. And I think this ghost is going to be... Oh my god, there is a nuke going on my natural expansion. This is not going to be good. And I don't think I realized that nuke was happening because my music was too loud compared to my sound effects. So another good lesson for you guys out there. If you are going to play with music like I do, because I just think it's more fun to have some beats thumping while you're poning face, definitely make sure that your sound effect volumes are loud. So there, oh my god, again, all my harvesters are dead. I do have another expansion coming up. At this point, I'm like, well, it's pretty much all in for me, so let's see what I can do. A huge army, 80 versus 146 right now. Zealots coming in onto here, and there we go. I'm starting to take out a couple of units while he's backing off, but this is just such a huge force for me to deal with. How am I ever going to be able to deal with this? 68 right now to 144. This is absolutely ridiculous. How am I going to be able to get out of this? And oh my god, there goes some well-placed Side Storms. 3 of them just taking out the rest of this force, and there are the rest of my High Templar, but I am able to mop up the rest of that army. Wow, oh my god, Side Storm is just so awesome, and here I am right now. I'm like, I really just need to try and destroy the rest of his production, so he is not going to be able to counter this. He's just got so many barracks, even getting an EMP off on my units, but I think that right now he doesn't have enough. Even bringing out his workers right here, trying to take out my Archon. Actually, he was able to kill that, as well as some Stalkers here, and I see that he has a handful of units here, so I'm trying to take those down as quickly as possible. I'm going to lose an Immortal. I have one Archon tanking right here, and there is the last Marauder going down on a couple of Marines. So right now this player we're actually really tight for minerals and production. I basically have 45 minerals right now. I almost have no probes. I have 2 mining bases, but none of them are saturated at all. So this guy had just did so much damage. Look, this guy's got 41 kills. He's like, I am such a badass. I nuked all of your stuff. And yeah, I'm trying to even it up right now, trying to kill his production, and at the same time I finally have enough resources to try to go out and possibly scout, because I realize this guy has had tons of time to expand everywhere on the map. So he's even got like 15 mules right here just mining away at this base, but he is like, well, it's time to evac out of this base. So I actually was able to deny him the production. So this is actually a very, very close matchup right now. He has this natural pretty much mined out. This one is not really mining. He's got a couple of mules there, and I start to send out some units to try to see where exactly he might be mining, if he has just a base everywhere, which he pretty much does except for the high yield. So yeah, he does have a base right here, and I start to harass with a little force right here, and I just pretty much scout around with this force to try to take down any other production. And at this time I'm also kind of like, I can't believe I'm in this game right now. I just had everything destroyed. So yeah, one Zealot working his way on this orbital command. In due time, Mr. Zealot, you will kill that orbital command. And I can send out a couple of Zealots right here to try to see if he has taken the high yield, but he has not. So luckily for me, I am safe there. I actually do think he brought some SCVs. Yeah, he brought some SCVs in over here, and I'm able to take them out with these Zealots. So I'm really just trying to control the map right now and deny him any mining while I am mining myself, because I do have 2 bases. I just don't have a lot of income, so it's going to take a little bit for me to start going well in there. And here is a fusion core. I Love Lobsters also loves battle cruisers, so he is going to be building battle cruisers right now at the end, and I finally take that on orbital command with the help of that trusty Zealot earlier on. And my Stalkers and my one Immortal are moving across. It looks like I lost my Archon, I think, and I start punching through these rocks as well, because I see that this is a really good place for him to expand, because it is cut off by those rocks, and I don't really have a lot of units dedicated to try to scour the map. But yeah, he was able to secure this base, even pumping out some more nukes. So this Ghost is going to go some more massive probe hunting there. And here comes some battle cruisers, and yeah, so he is pumping battle cruisers from this base. He actually has a decent amount of income right now, despite the fact that I've been denying him bases everywhere that I can. And I'm trying to snipe out his production as well, but it seems like he doesn't need to build any more supply depots. And I realize that this is where I need to attack, because he could have taken this yield out, the mineral field out here. I warp in some zealots. I see that there are tech labs on these buildings, and I try to deny him the tech labs, but it looks like he's already building these SEVs, and I realize if arrows coming out, I need these stalkers. So here he comes with some more SEVs and that Ghost, but I send one zealot out here to charge to make sure that he won't be able to just kind of eat away at these zealots with that nice little worker choke there. So I do move around these minerals. Here comes some more stalkers and some more stalkers as well, and I bring my observer in case he decides to cloak and start sniping away at my army. Here is the battle cruiser, but I have 5 stalkers right now, so I think I'm going to be able to take this with 5 stalkers. I don't know, battle cruisers are pretty ridiculously powerful. So here he goes, 2 stalkers are down, but I warp in another, so I think I'm going to be able to take this battle cruiser out. And yeah, that is pretty much the game right there. There goes the GG. I love Lobster. I cannot believe I had won this game. It was absolutely epic. There is the APM for the end of the match. I actually, when I watched this replay right after I beat it, played this game about a week ago, I noticed that he had like 170 APM in the middle when he was just harassing everywhere. So yeah, I mean, I really think this is probably one of the best Terran players I've ever fought against. I mean, he just had such good control over me. I actually talked to him after